What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, we're doing another of our Himalayan stories. And basically this one's going to be kind of a personal story for me. Something that I've been doing my whole life besides riding motorcycles. But it only happens between the middle of April and the middle of May. And that means we're going to go mushroom hunting. Now I have to go to this place. It's where I usually camp at, and it's gonna take us a little bit of time to get there, so I thought I would describe some of the things that we do and why it's so important to me. When I was a kid, my dad and my uncle and my aunts and my cousins and my sisters and I would all go down to the farm, and we would go hunting mushrooms. And the mushrooms that we're talking about are morels, and they're really not a mushroom. I forget the exact scientific name, but they're a fungus. But man, they are delicious, and they're really expensive if you guys have ever tried them. Hopefully you have had the opportunity to try some morels, not store-bought, but going out and finding them yourself. And it's literally hunting, because they're not everywhere, and you need to have certain things, certain soil, certain habitat. And when we get to the location, I'll kind of go over what I'm talking about. It's kind of like, well, I know most of you are not going to understand this, but when I was fishing tournaments, we had a technique called pattern fishing. And what that meant is, when we were starting, we would look at the time of the year, we would look at the angle of the sun, the water temperature, the water clarity, the amount of cover and structure in that particular body of water. Now I know that's a lot of stuff to hear right now, but it does kind of apply to hunting mushrooms as well too. The reason why I say that is because mushrooms, like bass, aren't everywhere. And so you have to kind of understand their habitat, where they grow, what time of year they come out, which is primarily hit the horn, which is primarily early spring, April, May, early mid-spring I should say. And the temperature has to be right, the water amount in the soil has to be right, it has to be around those certain kind of trees. There's about 6 or 8 different species of trees I kind of relate to. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff to look for. But besides all that confusing and very difficult things to do, it's a lot of fun. So what I want to do right now is we're going to play a little bit of music on our way there and change the camera angle back forward. And so enjoy our trip to hunting mushrooms. I just moved the camera angle and to get a better view down here. So we're going to take it, follow some of these trails back in and get to the campsite, and then we'll show you the woods we're going to try to explore to find some black, glassy, or white morels. Should be a lot of fun. You know, one of the things I like to do when I'm out here in the woods is to bring a little snack along. And I thought today, before we started looking for mushrooms, I'll tell you what, this is why I like these bags from Hitchcock's. They're pretty cool. But I'm going to, let's see if the camera can pick this up. I brought along something that is kind of Ohio-centric, at least in my neck of the woods back in Northeast Ohio, and it is trail bologna and baby Swiss cheese. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to put my hat on, get the other camera set up, and enjoy a little snack. You know, I think there's probably going to be some harsh shadows, but the sun's up pretty high. I know it's not perfect camera weather, if you will, but that's kind of the price you pay for filming with absolutely no control, and it takes time to get here. It's still I think it's around noon, which is why I want to have a little snack. And what I'm having here is trail bologna, and it's kind of funny because even Ohioans think that trail bologna was invented for the trail, and that's the exact opposite. There's a little town up near a town called Sugar Creek, Ohio. This is so good. That is called Trail, and that's where Troyers, the folks that invented the trail bologna, make the product. So I'm gonna sit here and enjoy some trail bologna, eat a little bit of Gugelsberg baby Swiss cheese, and enjoy the scenery. You know, folks, I talk a little bit about why I love the Himalayan so much. And it's for stuff like this. I mean, as we're going to go look for some morels, I've got the perfect bike to bring myself back into. And I've got some of those little side baskets. Now, I'm not going to harvest a lot. I'll probably only have about a dozen, because I'm just going to have them for myself maybe this evening, if I find any. There's no guarantees, but man, this brings back so many memories. You know, part of the Himalayan story is me sharing some of my lifetime experiences. And when I was a kid, my father and mother and sisters would go on these Sunday drives, and my dad had restaurants in Northeast Ohio, in Canton, Ohio in particular, and we would either take chicken wings back before really chicken wings were a thing, or we'd take trail bologna and baby Swiss or Swiss cheese. I'm telling you, not only is it delicious, the memories that it triggers makes you miss your mom and dad, you know what I mean? Well, that was a really delicious lunch, and like I said, trail bologna is without a doubt one of my favorite things to snack on when I'm either on the road. I carry it with me when I ride a motorcycle on the Harleys as well too. That and baby Swiss or regular Swiss cheese. But we're gonna switch the camera around here. Give me a half a second, and we've got about 20 acres of woods to explore. Now, I'm not going to bring you along for all of it, but we'll walk a little bit, and then what I'll do is I'll show you some of the places that I like to look, and then we'll go from there. Now, I'm going to concentrate on some deer trails here, and what I'm looking for is moist-ish ground, and I like to look at, now there's a lot of dead trees, but I like to look for trees that have some slipping bark, and there's a thing called a slippery elm, and there's also some ash that you need to look for, but we've had a lot of problems with ash in Ohio that the ash borer has destroyed. But you can see this is a pretty vast area to nail down. So we'll walk around a little bit of these deer trails and see what we can find as far as possibilities to get some morels. And I'll put a picture right here on what they look like. And then it's one of those type of things that if you hunt morels, the hardest one to find is the first one. And I think there's a reason for that, and that reason is your eyes really play tricks on you with so many things to see, and you have to actually find the first one. Then once you find that first one, it burns into your head actually, and then you can start looking for other places for the morels as well too. So let's walk around a little bit. I'll speed the camera up. Oh, I found the first one. I don't know if you can see it with the camera. The sun is in the wrong angle, but let's see if we can get a better angle. We're still going to have the shadow because the sun's almost directly ahead of us. But that is the first one. And what we're noticing is there's a lot of these little white flowers. There's a tree with the bark has slipped off of. Let's see if we can see any more in here. You gotta look real hard and real close. Oh, it's right in the middle of my shadow. Can you see that there? There's another one. Right there. Yeah, I think we're gonna find a few here, so let's keep looking. There's another one. What do you think of that? We found, what, 4 or 5 there real quick. I didn't film each one of them, but we filmed a couple of them. We're going to look for some more, and we'll keep going. But as like I say, I think there's going to be a lot of small ones. Those there are blacks that are just starting to rise up, and there may be some more in different areas. I don't want to over harvest because I want the spores to release for the next time I come out here. Like I say, they're going to grow for a couple weeks yet, so we'll keep on moving. There's another one. Gotta watch where you step. And, well, it looks like a critter got to those, but there's a couple, what, 4 or 5 there in a row. So that's pretty cool. And like I say, they're just, you gotta really watch. Especially where you step. I'm sure a animal or a critter knocked those over. Oh, there's one right there. Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you think, wow, he found those right away. Well, not really. It took me a while, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that, of trouncing through the woods. Now, obviously, that's boring, just looking you trouncing me through the woods. But we found enough for a little meal tonight, and I think that'll be good enough for right now. We'll come back in the next day or two and see if any more pop up. I'd like to get a little bit of rain. We haven't really had a lot of rain this year as far as the spring, so we need some good warm rain to really bring the rest of them up. And each species grows at different times. These are blacks. I think the glassies will be up towards the later part of May, and we'll try to find some for them too. But I'll tell you what, this is a Ohio tradition for us, is going out and finding some mushrooms, and they are absolutely delicious. Probably the best tasting mushroom, period. Well, in my humble opinion. You know, people ask me all the time, say, Ronin, but I don't have any property. Well, I'm going to give you a little hint. I just moved down here about a year and a half ago.
from Northeast Ohio, and we live fairly close, within half an hour of Newark, Ohio. My mailing address is actually Newark because we're out in the country and it's the closest town to us. But to get to a long story short, you have to make friends and talk to people. You know, you just don't go waltzing in somebody's woods. You have to you have to make some friendship. And like for me, if I ask somebody to go on their property, I like to make it that it's cleaner than what when I got there. In other words, if there's any trash that I see, because sometimes people just kind of wander through property and drop trash, which just destroys me. I hate that. I pick it up. And I also give the property owner a gift, and maybe bake some cookies. I'll offer them a dinner at my food truck. Things like that. Bottle of wine, case of beer, 6-pack or 12-pack, something like that. And just be friendly. That's the best way to get to the heart of a country person, is to be friendly and to offer them something for your going on their property and looking at for stuff for you to eat. It's not all about you. It's about nature. It's about the property owner in particular as well too. So hopefully that little tip will guide you. I always give the property owner something, whether I'm hunting for mushrooms or if I'm just riding around. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video, this Himalayan story. Something that I really dearly love to do in the springtime is to find mushrooms, harvest them, give a present to the property owner. This particular one, we gave him a dinner at our food truck, because they come to our food truck anyway. So the family's gonna eat free for that day. But it's one of those type of things that we, be friendly and enjoy what nature's given you. And of course, the Himalayan is absolutely the best bike to get here with. I used to take my Sportsters in places like this, or my Dynas and things, but man, I can get back in farther with the Himalayan than I ever could any of my other bikes, except for a dirt bike when I have my own property back up home. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of my life and part of my Himalayan story now too. If you did, give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button, share and comment. I read all the comments and comment on as much as I possibly can. Until next time, guys, ride safe, make the property you go on cleaner than when you got there, and keep her on 2 wheels, baby.